On time PBS Wow tonight, Prime Minister Paetongtarn arrived in Los Angeles to meet supporters, hoping her father Thaksin may visit one day. New chairman of the Bank of Thailand has been selected, but the close ties with Per-Thai party are raising concerns. And an arrest warrant has been issued as a forest official allegedly involved in poaching Siamese Rosewood. Good evening, you're watching Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Frank Kanshi.
And I'm Nat Bunna.
And today we start the story that, of course, our Prime Minister Paetongtarn right now is in the United States to meet overseas ties and, of course, on the way to the APEC summit in Peru. Prime Minister Paetongtarn told overseas ties living in Los Angeles who have good education, technical know-how or professional expertise to return to Thailand to help in national development if they want to work there. The Prime Minister visited a Thai temple to meet with members of the Thai community, which is the largest outside Thailand, yesterday. During the visit, she received about $30,000 in donations from the Thai people there to help flood victims in Thailand. The Prime Minister thanked the Thai people for their warm welcome, saying that if there is any opportunity, she would invite her father, former Prime Minister Thaksin to come to the U.S. to visit the Thai community. The Prime Minister is on her way to attend the 31st Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC Summit in Peru from November 14th to 16th. She will also hold bilateral meetings with APEC economic leaders as well as representatives from the private sector. She's expected to return to Bangkok on Monday. So, Ned, of course, we see this positive agenda on the way to Peru, but actually we see some protests on the way. Let's have a look of this video. Right, so of course you can see the motorcade of our Prime Minister Paetongtarn there passing the street, but people by the side say, get out, get out. And also you can see the signboard there. Some people hold the board as iPad Prime Minister.
Well, this is a huge reference to what the Prime Minister did before, reading a script off the iPad. So many of the protesters were trying to bully her, saying that, oh, she's an iPad Prime Minister. But you can see that there are still those who are against the Shinawatra family in the United States as well. And that's a huge crowd.
Yeah, and we have different interpretation about the iPad Prime Minister because, of course, Paetongtarn has attended many international conferences, no matter in Laos, no matter in Saudi Arabia. But some people criticize if she only read those iPads, read the text on the iPad, could become a very competitive Prime Minister. And of course, on the way to Peru, she also said that she welcomed those overseas ties to come back to work in Thailand. But my question is, what is the incentives? What is the driver there to welcome or also attract those overseas ties coming back to Thailand to work? Because the salary standard is different, the living quality might be different too.
This is actually one of the obvious points here, Frank, because in the U.S., you get paid better. Whether you're a doctor or a professor or any sort of profession, you get paid much better than in Thailand. So that is probably many reasons why many people decided to relocate to the U.S. to find a job there, because they believe that it would be easier for them to...
It's very difficult.
It's very different. It's just to... They think it's a lot easier for them to make ends meet if they live in the U.S. Maybe it's better for them to be far away from Thailand as long as they are financially stable.
Yeah, because of course some of my friends, Thai friends, they finally decide to live no matter in Europe or in the US because as what you said, they can make ends meet.
Right, and considering that Prime Minister Paetongtarn will be attending the APEC summit in 14 to 16 November. So we will have to see what will be high on the agenda and what she will actually say about the Thai economy.
Or just reading iPad again, so we will see that.
If it's scripted by herself or if someone's scripted for her.
Yeah, that's
we'll have to wait and see. And now let's move on to another issue. We have an update on the latest on the selection of the central bank's new chairman. And as expected, Kittirat Naronong was chosen by the committee yesterday. So Kittirat, the former deputy prime minister and finance minister during the Yingluck administration, has been chosen as the new chairman of the board of the Bank of Thailand, despite concerns of political interference into the central bank from former central bank governors and academics. Yesterday, there were two activist groups who rallied in front of the Bank of Thailand to protest against the finance ministry's nomination of Kittirat as the chairman of the central bank's board. One group expressed concerns that the appointment of Kittirat, who is closely connected with the ruling Pheu Thai party, will pave that way for political interference in the affairs of the central bank. While the other group submitted a list of 51,000 supporters and a letter addressed to the selection committee demanding the resignation of the committee's chairman, claiming that he is unfit for the role. They also threatened to file a complaint with the Constitutional Court, questioning the ethical standards of the finance minister Pichai Chunha Washira for his nomination of Kittirat, claiming that the nomination is pretty similar to former Prime Minister Sethar Thavisin's appointment of a convict Pichit Chunban as the Prime Minister's office minister. Meanwhile, the former central bank governor Wirathai Santiprapop posted on Facebook on Sunday that Thai people must not allow the central bank to become controlled by political parties. He also stated that this is not just a matter of the central bank, but it is about the future of the nation. Wirathai further explains that if we allow the political camp to dominate the central bank, it will endanger the stability of the Thai economy, undermine the credibility of the central bank, and weaken all the major economic institutions. Economists are also concerned about the potential government interference into the operations of the central bank, compromising its independence in running monetary policy. The independence of the central bank is considered crucial for economic stability in the long run. Multiple studies have also found that the central bank's independence is associated with price stability and lower inflation. So for many of the protesters, that fear has come true. Kittirat has been chosen as the central bank's chairman. So people have suspected that political interference will be taking place, especially with all of the policies and all the decisions within the bank. It's because, as you may have been aware, Kittirat is closely associated with the Pheu Thai party. So any sort of negotiations would have been a lot easier.
I think the key word here, inflation, 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 and stability, because of course, the Bank of Thailand or any national bank in any country, it needs stability. It needs independence to decide the inflation rate, the interest rate, rather that the government does not have the right to intervene. But right now, of course, as what you said, many protesters, many opposite sides say that it's not possible for a very close associated individual with Pheu Thai party to, get involved in this position, because at the end, of course, we see some cases, previous cases in Central South America, some countries, they faced 2,000% of inflation after a central bank got involved with the government's decision.
Well, and we have noticed for a few months now that the ruling Pheu Thai government and the central bank has been in conflicts with trying to cut the interest rates. And now that the chairman is Kittirat, closely associated with the ruling Pheu Thai party, then things would have been a lot easier to intervene and to decide on the policies and also in its management as well. But keep in mind, though, that Kittirat may not have direct influence in terms of the policies, but they might indirectly do that because with the appointment of some of the members in the Monetary Policy Committee and also in terms of selecting a new governor, especially when Sethaput Suthiwa Naruput, who's the current governor, term expires next year.
Yeah, so this the next story we're gonna talk about of the finance minister, of course, talk about that they want to work well in the future with central bank. Finance Minister Pichai Chunhatwachirat said today that he hopes that the Finance Ministry and the Bank of Thailand can work in the same direction, even though he has not yet been formally advised who the next board chairman will be. Pichai also said that the roles of the board chairman and central bank's other committees are clearly defined in law and that this ensures their independence. He did say, however, that the government and the central bank, although independent from each other, will work together in the same direction and will try to meet more often. Also, he firmly said that the finance ministry and the central bank are not at odds with each other. Previous former central bank staff, including former governors, academics, and activist groups, have expressed serious concerns over the potential for political interference in the affairs of the central bank, which would endanger the credibility of the bank and the Thai economy. Kittirat is closely connected with Thai Party and is considered to be a political appointee now at the top of the country's central bank. The current central bank governor has been pushing against the government's pressure to cut the policy rate to ease the financial burden on businesses. In fact, the chairman of the central bank does not have a direct role in influencing the interest rate policy, as the interest policy falls under the governor's responsibility. However, Kittirat has the authority to appoint 4 members to the Monetary Policy Committee out of a total of 7 members. He would also be involved in selecting the next central governor when the current governor term ends in September next year. So, of course, as what you said, the board chairman right now has the right to appoint 4 members in the Monetary Policy Committee. This is a very, very significant way for actually the new board chairman to influence in the policy rate.
Right, but even though he does not have a direct role in influencing the interest rate policies, but he can have a role like indirectly, especially with the appointment of the committee members and also selecting the new central bank governor when Sethaput's term ends about in the middle of next year. So let's say if Sethaput's term ends next year, he might be able to choose a new governor who might be closely associated with the ruling Thai Party as well. So the political interference will go on and on and on and in different steps.
And as what you said, actually, the current government Sethaput right now, during his tenure in this position, he tried to avoid or try to oppose Thai's policy there.
Yes, and he has been trying to maintain the independence of the central bank. And it's really interesting how Finance Minister Pichai said that the central bank is independent from the government, but with the appointment of Kittirat and the way they're doing it, you can see that they're trying to take control.
And the fire might come back because it's not just about themselves, it's not just about political appointee, it's about the stability of the Thai economy.
And I think you can see the domino effect coming really soon with the political interference in the central bank, how it affects the monetary policies, and then it will affect the Thai economy, its stability, and also people's livelihoods.
Yeah, backfire to the Thai civilians at the end.
Right, and now let's turn to this story. An arrest warrant has been issued as a forest official was found to have allegedly been involved in stealing Siamese rosewood. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of a Forest Department official based at a Forest Protection Unit in Sakhon Nakhon province on suspicion of involvement in the stealing of Siamese rosewood logs worth about 800,000 baht and also 2 service pistols. 5 men armed with guns and knives raided a Forest Protection Unit last Saturday night assaulted the 3 officials on duty there and tied them up before they took 20 Siamese Rosewood logs and robbed them of 2 service pistols. The Forest Department's Director General told Thai PBS Online News that the provincial court has already issued a warrant for the arrest of the official for alleged involvement in the robbery, adding that the suspect has already been dismissed from the service. He also said that the official in question was recruited about 5 years ago and used to work at the Forest Protection Unit in Sakhon Nakhon province, but was later transferred to Udon Thani about a year ago due to poor performance and being absent almost all the time. And he has also been revealed that some armed men tried to rob the Forest Protection Unit on September 8th, but it was unsuccessful. But we also have to explain a little bit why Siamese rosewood is often stolen in Thailand. We have to say that this is simply because Siamese rosewood is among the most expensive types of wood in the market, and Siamese rosewood, known in Thai as Mai Payung, is typically used to produce Buddhist altars, shelves, or even furniture. However, northeastern people believe that Siamese rosewood is reserved for anything that is of high regard. Therefore, you will not see people using this kind of wood to build homes, despite the fact that Siamese rosewood is very durable compared to other types of wood. And most of these Siamese rosewoods are usually found in forests and national parks in northeastern provinces such as Surin, Srisake, Buriram, and Ubon Ratchathani. However, the amount of Siamese rosewood has been decreasing due to illegal logging. Thai Siamese rosewood is actually of high demand, especially from Chinese businessmen, often used to produce furniture for their homes to enhance their wealth and status. Chinese businessmen would order these woods through businessmen in Cambodia and Laos, who will then get their labor to rob these woods and send them back to China. And the average price of Siamese rosewood normally costs around 300,000 to 500,000 baht for a 2-meter piece of wood, which is actually 10 times higher than other types of wood, such as golden teak, which costs around 30,000 baht only. So you can see that Siamese rosewood is very high in its price. So, and like we said earlier, many people often like to use this kind of wood to produce furniture or even Buddhist altars. So you can see how valuable it is for many people, and especially among Chinese businessmen. They often use it to produce furniture to up-level their status and their wealth.
Yeah, in the end, they will send it back to China for trade.
Yeah.
And as what you said, the scarcity, the difficulty to get the Siamese rosewood is very, very high valued. So as what you said, of course, in Thailand, we build it for the high regard of usage. But now, some of people, they try to steal it. Of course, this is not a very good practice here. So, as what you said about the one piece of 2-meter piece of wood is already go up to 400,000.
It's about 300 to 500,000 baht, and that is really expensive for a piece of wood. So this is why these kind of woods are of high demand, and based on the law, the Thai law says that this kind of wood is actually sort of preserved, and you're not supposed to do any illegal logging with this.
And normally, of course, we can only find it in the national park in northern part of Thailand too. So if people really plan to...
No, please don't.
Please do not do it, because of course you're gonna face a lot of fines and maybe go to the prison too.
Right, and now let's end the program with a much lighter story. So the Thai government has announced more extra holidays for the next year. So if you're planning to travel around Thailand, spend quality time with your friends and family, or simply need extra me time, then you might want to listen up. So the Thai cabinet has approved extra holidays for the year 2025. So first of all, the extra holidays include Monday, June 2nd, and this will be a bridge public holiday before the Queen's birthday on June 3rd. This means you will get 4 days off of work from Saturday, May 31st until Tuesday, 3rd of June 2025. Thais will also get another holiday on Monday, August 11th, as a bridge public holiday before Thai Mother's Day or the Queen Mother's birthday on August 12th. This means you will get 4 days off of work from Saturday, August 9th until Tuesday, August 12th. And for the New Year holidays, you will get an extra day off on January 2nd, 2026. This means you will get up to 5 days off from December 31st, 2025 until Sunday, January 4th, 2026. So these are the extra days off that has been announced by the Thai cabinet, but this does not include the existing holidays that we have every year, such as the Songkran holidays and all the other holidays throughout the year.
I think this is why some foreigners, they like to work in Thailand because we may have a lot of holidays, no matter is this special holidays that government give it to the Thai citizens or people working in Thailand, and those Buddhist holidays too.
Yeah, because it's really enjoyable for many people that they have bridge public holidays so that they can actually plan their trips ahead, and at least like 3 or 4 days is already enough for some people. But if you think the Songkran holidays are not enough, these other holidays might be other options for you.
Yeah, and you can go around and not just go to the north or go to the south for the beach holiday too.
Yeah, but depends on the season as well, because during the middle of the year, down south there might be monsoons and the seas would be very rough, so do be careful. But these are the extra holidays that has been announced by the Thai cabinet, so you might want to plan ahead. All right, that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. By the meantime, you can follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ